Welcome to your Cochrane Right Now. This is a weekly podcast all about the best town in the world, Cochrane, Alberta. My name's Eric Ruddle, joined by Lauren Meister. And Lauren, if you are watching the video version of this, we have a brand new angle going on.
We do.
We do.
We're mixing it up.
And why do we have a brand new angle? Our number one listener.
My mom.
Yeah, Mom.
She wants to see my face. So we decided to switch things up a little bit. And it's a little different, a little bit weird.
Yep.
But we're going to see how this works out.
Yep. So there you go, Mom. See?
Yeah.
Yep.
See the face.
Make sure you jump over to our YouTube video to watch her lovely face do all the talking. But today is Groundhog Day here in the world, in Cochrane. And of course, Balzac Billy has had a monopoly on Groundhog Day for years upon years. Mm-hmm. And we believed that it was time for Cochrane to throw our hat into the groundhog ring. So here is Cochrane Cathy. She is a groundhog that made her appearance for the first time.
Is she a groundhog?
She was a squirrel.
Okay.
And then we gave it to my dog. And my dog disemboweled poor Cathy and ripped out all her stuffing and ripped off her tail. So if we go back to the beginning of this, we've been trying to do something for Groundhog Day the last couple of years here at Cochrane now, right? Right?
It's fair. And there was COVID and all of the things.
And we kept running into an issue. What do we do? How do we get a groundhog, right? So this year, yet again, I throw it up 2 days in advance. Hey, we should do something for Groundhog Day. And me and you both have young kids scouring our housing for groundhog puppets.
Which I thought I found one.
Oh my
gosh. I sent you that awesome photo.
She sends me a photo of a TY walrus. Hey, Eric, will this work? A walrus. In your defense, it was brown, but it was...
It was the closest thing I had. It would have worked in a pinch.
It probably would have been funnier. But anyway, my dog was chewing on poor Cathy here. I was like, jackpot. Cathy is coming to work. So I grabbed her from my poor pup and brought her in. Didn't wash her because I didn't want her to fall apart, right? And off we went. Yeah. So this morning we revealed, hey, we have a groundhog. She is making her first appearance. And sadly, she did see her shadow.
She did. So yeah, she didn't really predict what we wanted her to predict. But even though she's predicting 6 more weeks of winter, it's only February 2nd, which even if we only had 6 more weeks of winter and then spring started in the middle of March, I think everybody in Cochrane would take that because spring never actually starts in the middle of March anyway. Yeah. So I think that would be the earliest spring ever.
Yeah. So we got this puppet. And we're like, we need a couple of people to help us out to make this video because, of course, if I'm the puppet and you're the reporter who's shooting it, who's going to be the person. And we just kind of went out into the radio station and we were like, hey, guys, this is our idea. I was shocked. Everybody was instantly on board.
Yeah.
And we went out into historic downtown Cochrane and we had the unveiling. And I've had people ask, hey, it's not very sunny. How did your critter see her shadow? And the answer is, it's way easier to go yes than no, right? Like my hand movements would have shown off my back of my hand, so she saw it.
It's, I guess, because you don't have a lot of practice being a puppeteer, right? You need to just get a little bit more experience.
But we are really excited because I'd like this to become a thing.
Yeah.
Right? Balzac Billy, spoiler alert, guy in a groundhog suit.
Well, exactly. There's no reason we can't have Cochrane Cathy. We're getting a lot of really good response, but you also are the creator of the video. So we have this live video that went up onto our Facebook page this morning. We're getting a lot of good feedback from that, but just the amount of detail that you have as well. I don't think you've ever created, because you've never worked in like TV news before. No. So you've never created a breaking news video. I was impressed with like all of the news ticker at the bottom, all the graphics, the news stinger sound. That was something.
It's funny because like we live in a news world. I have not watched television news, I'd say at least 15 years. I don't know what it looks like. So I had to do quite a bit of Googling to see this. And honestly, I would have been able to finish that video in like 15 minutes if it wasn't for that ticker. But no, it turned out really
Wow.
good, and I really want it to become big. So hopefully next year, maybe Jeff Janung will come down, the mayor. Maybe we'll get a crowd.
I hope so.
Candace can get a top hat because they're kind of associated.
I think so.
With-
Well, especially because we determined that Candace speaks groundhogese,
who knew?
Which is something that very few people in North America speak
Yes.
it. We did find out that one of the groundhog whisperer people in the States speaks it as well. And yeah, same thing. He wore a big top hat.
Exactly.
So Candace does need that, I think.
Right? And you two
Yeah.
next to each other could equal out the height difference. So that's good.
That would be helpful.
Yeah,
To be
exactly.
fair, I am tall, but Candace is quite short.
Yeah. No, it's a really cute video. Jump over to our Facebook page. But the big news going down in town, which is surprising because this wasn't a shocking reveal that South Bow Landing is coming. A
Yeah.
big new community, kind of in your vein of Heartland Heritage Fireside, is going kind of right next to Riversong.
Yeah, so just like on the outskirts of Riversong, outskirts of Cochrane, really. And like when it's completed, there's going to be like 9,000 people. Like this is an entire town basically outside of Cochrane.
Yeah, exactly. Like we talk about Balzac Billy. This is like 3 Balzacs in one little community. But people were quite divided.
Well,
right?
Because it's funny. There's so many new people to Cochrane. There's
Yep.
so many people who probably didn't know about this. So
Yes.
this was first approved back in 2015. So a lot of people who have been here for a while, they knew this was coming. But this has kind of been on a back burner. No one really predicted this was going to be happening anytime soon. But the developer, it's been sold, and there's a new developer now. So it's been kind of kickstarted, and they're going to start having shovels in the ground this fall, like this year.
Gosh. And there is a chance then, because I live up in Sunset, that hill can get a little nasty. It's predicted to get worse with the construction. That hill coming down, once you have Fireside, Riversong, and the others, and then South Bow Landing,
Yeah.
it's going to be pretty nuts over there, I'd imagine.
Well, at least we have the extra bridge.
That's
right?
true.
So there's at least one other way to get into Cochrane. Like where Sunset, you only have the one way, unless you go out and way around.
Like one of my favorite stories you were telling was just like, somebody who's in the area and they were like, oh yeah, no, that's not starting for years upon years.
Yeah.
Because no one really knew.
No.
It's just kind of been like, oh yeah, they're building something up there
Eventually.
later. And
Yeah.
later, 2023, which will also bring in a competition because Greystone, 2023, it was supposed to almost be 2022.
They've already started building houses.
Is there houses down there?
Yes, they've started building in
Ooh-wee.
Greystone. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like things are happening.
So if you think Cochrane's busy right now, I saw an argument going on online. I know, shocking, right? With those two new communities, probably 9 to 12,000
Yeah,
people each.
crazy.
Can we support a Costco here in Cochrane? I don't know if most people would want a Costco.
Yeah. I mean, I think it'd be convenient. Like,
Oh,
I mean, it'd be
100%.
nice in the sense that it's like, oh, sweet. If I don't have to go to the city to Costco, that'd be great. But totally, you'd feel bad for all of the small mom and pop shops here in town.
Even not the mom and pop shops, our grocery stores would just be I remember when Walmart was announced for the quarry, everyone was like, this is the end. And then the Walmart came and it wasn't the best Walmart and kind of it didn't do too much, right? A Costco would be a beast. And we're
Yeah.
getting one in Harmony,
Yeah,
which is Springbank.
That's like 10 minutes out of town.
So we don't get the traffic. We get 10-minute drive to Costco, and apparently they kind of have 100,000 person rule. So that'd take us till at least like 2026 to hit.
Yeah, exactly. But it doesn't make sense because Okotoks has
That's
one,
true.
and they're like the same size as Cochrane.
That's Cochrane. Yeah.
So I don't really know how that works out.
And talking about monster huge industries, Garmin is growing even bigger now.
Yeah.
So a lot of people might not realize, but like the head office for Canadian Garmin, of course, Garmin is so big they have different countries.
For
but
sure.
Canada's head office, the bigwigs, are right across the street
Yeah,
from us.
like we see their sign every single day.
And we got a press release earlier this week. What was that one all about?
So it basically just said that we don't have a lot of information, but it just said there's going to be a big press conference on Monday morning. All these different dignitaries, it named them off. They're going to be there at like 10 o'clock Monday morning.
Yeah.
It's going to be a huge expansion, and more than 200 jobs are going to be part of this expansion. So then instantly we're like, whoa, this is huge. And then we're all talking here in the building, like, what does this actually mean? Can you fit 200 new people in that building?
200 plus, right? Like how many people, like it's a pretty big building.
It is a big building, but can you fit another 200 people? That's a lot of people.
Is there anywhere in town that even could match that, saying, hey, we're expanding, we're going to add 200 jobs? Even the sawmills would be a reach to be hiring that many people. Like, it's going to be a big rush. Obviously, Garmin, tech, young families and all that stuff. Like, I don't know, might be attracting a lot of new families coming to Cochrane.
So. Which is why we need SoFo, I guess, right?
Exactly.
What about the old Ford right across the street from us? That's a perfect spot, and it's right next. They could just have a plus 15 right from Garmin.
Garmin over top the brew house or into brew house, so you could kind of stop.
Yeah,
and then
pit stop.
Exactly. That's a good rumor to be spreading. And then they could connect us. We'll test out their fancy watches.
Sure.
And all the other stuff they make.
Up.
And we were talking, we're not even sure what they do in the Garmin building.
I have a Garmin watch.
Yeah. Do they build them there? Probably not.
I'm going to guess not.
Is it just paperwork people? Who knows? So hopefully maybe on Monday we'll swing over for this big press conference. They'll open up Willy Wonka's factory and let us see what's going on.
We did find out, though, the last time Mayor Jeff was in, we asked whether or not they have underground parking.
Yes.
He confirmed that they do not.
Then who in town does? Somebody in Cochrane has to have underground parking. And if it isn't a business that can just willy-nilly add 200 jobs, maybe that's the expansion. Hey.
Dig out underground parking after the building's already built.
Underground parking.
Maybe they need to build a new building that has underground parking.
Maybe they're going to add the radio station in as well, and we can...
sure.
Yeah, there you go. I like it. I like it a lot, all these rumors.
It all seems feasible.
Yeah. And maybe to pay for it, they are collecting pop tabs from their cans.
Yeah, which that wouldn't take that long.
I learned this week that you can make money twice from cans, which I never knew. Of course, you throw them in there, you get your 10 cents back, you're done. But if you take off that pop tab, those are worth money as well. And you talk to 8-year-old Ryder this week, and he's not doing it to buy video games. He's doing it to do something really good.
So cool. Yeah. So he's been collecting them for a couple of weeks, and it's all because he wants to help raise money to buy a wheelchair for a child in need, a child that he doesn't even know, somebody in Canada. So it's going to go to the March of Dimes, which is a fundraising program here in Canada. But it's pretty cool. So he goes to CCA, and the rest of the students at the school, they got so excited about it as well that they're also, like, all the classrooms are competing against each other as well. But he's been collecting them for 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He already has collected over 30,000 pop tabs. Almost everyone in Cochrane has given him a pop tab. Yeah. Pretty much, right? Yeah. Like if one person each. In 2 weeks. Isn't that insane? How? I know. It's crazy. I couldn't raise 30,000 of anything in 2 weeks. I know. So his goal is he wants to get 100,000. 100,000 in the next couple of weeks. And then the classroom, because the classrooms are competing. Yeah. The classroom that has the most pop tabs, they're going to win like this big party for Valentine's Day. Do you just take those to the bottle depot? I think there are certain places that you can cash them in. Okay, because they're metal, right? So people trade metal, and seeing the bags upon bags upon bags this kid has. 8 years old. I have an 8-year-old, and she is not that motivated. No. Yes, I'm with you on that one. I show that to my kids, and they're like, oh. Okay. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm going to go back to my tablet now. Exactly. And did you see that somebody in Cochrane just won a national award for photography? Yeah, pretty incredible. So Joanne over at Cochrane Tourism, so I actually see her sometimes on the pathways, like taking photos of wildlife and whatnot. And so I've known that she's a photographer, but incredible. So she, Noel was actually telling us a little bit about her. So we knew that she was in the running to win this crazy, amazing award. Like the world of photographs, right? Like a huge world it's like round. The Olympics of photography, basically. Which is incredible. Yeah. Cochrane gets in there. So just for her, the photo that she won, it's a grizzly bear in a river, grabbing a fish, like trying to eat a fish. She became a bear guide to go up to Alaska, and she's hanging out in the wilderness for like 8 hours. 8 hours. For this perfect shot.
And we've seen it because Noel also, before she even submitted it for these awards, he asked, like he was buying a print. And when he saw it, he was like, oh no, now it's going to be so much more expensive because it is a world-winning. She won Best in Nation. And we were talking just before, like, would you have the patience to sit for 8 hours? Like, she's not sitting there eating snacks, scrolling on her phone,
that's gonna scare
watching
a bear away.
Netflix.
Yeah.
She's just in for 8 hours. For a chance, because like a bear isn't like making their appointments.
What's the thing? It's like you don't even know that the bear's gonna appear, let alone is the bear gonna grab a fish, or like you don't know what to expect.
It's
you
like
have no idea.
New age hunting, right? Like same way, you're just sitting in there. Probably she's all camoed up, just sitting, just chilling,
just incredible. But the photo is just so perfect that it almost doesn't even look real because it's just so perfect.
Like the water droplets alone, like her camera has got to be the fanciest camera in the world. Especially,
I can't even fathom.
You're thinking that detail. She probably wasn't like shoulder to shoulder with the big old grizzly bear.
I'm gonna guess not. I would imagine she's probably from a safe distance.
Yeah,
and it's definitely it's not from her phone.
Yeah,
like she's got a pretty fancy camera.
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
fancy lens.
Right, or with her iPhone out there.
Yeah,
but it's just incredible that we have these stars here in Cochrane, and like you said, she just works for tourism. Like she got a day job, she's doing her thing, and then in her spare time, she's going and winning world record winning
and
awards.
Becoming a bear guide.
A bear guide.
Like I don't even really know what that is, but it sounds very intense.
Exactly, right? Where do you even do it? And it's so incredible. Huge shout out to Joanne. She's also just an incredible lady. And it's really cool. There's so much going on in town. I bet you next week we're going to have all those answers on what's going on with Garmin.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
Yeah.
And
they have to have something underground there. I'm convinced of it.
Jeff's probably lying. he doesn't want us to go ask for underground parking because it's within walking distance. Like on the cold days, I would park underground and walk the block over
Maybe
to here.
Maybe he parks under there.
Maybe he does. There you go. Conspiracy. The mayor parking underground. Anyway, that is everything going on in Cochrane. I've been wearing my puppet the whole show. And if you want to watch this, you can jump over to YouTube, or of course, you can grab it on all your favorite podcast services. And until next week, I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah.